Hello and welcome to another tournament video. In this video I will be playing with Adolescent Epic Geckos, Vampires vs Magical Girls Elder Things, Seed 4 against Seed 29. The bases are Recording Studio, The Crypt and Tokyo. As always we start with the highest seed. And I'm very excited for this matchup because we have two rebalanced factions, Elder Things and Vampires. So we'll start off with playing Migo on Recording Studio. And our opponent is going to draw a Madness card. After that we'll play Insanity. Make them draw 2 more Madness cards and then we have to place this card into the box. Then we draw 2 and pass turn. Alright, so Gecko Vampires. First of all, Migo gets a power from the base. We'll play Monet. We'll draw a card and then return a Madness card to the Madness deck. After that we just pass turn. Magical Girls Elder Things are going to play Touch of Madness. So another Madness card goes to the Vampire Geckos. We draw a card and we will play Rainbow Girl. We also have an extra action left, so we'll play Magical Staff to protect Rainbow Girl from the Vampire Destruction. We'll draw 2, pass turn. We'll return a Madness card to the Madness deck and then play Night Stalker on Crypt. Then we just draw 2. Alright, so we still have 2 minions in play, which means we can play Eldest Thing. We play him on the Crypt and we destroy our 2 other minions. And because of Magical Staff, Rainbow Girl goes to the top of our deck. We will then get a power counter from Crypt. And with our action play, we'll play Celestial Teleport to move Eldest Thing to Tokyo. Then we draw 2 and pass turn. Okay, so Gecko Vampires are this time playing a Madness card to draw 2 cards. And then with their minion play June. We're not going to use her ability, we just pass turn. We will discard the Fletchling Vampires, they can be triggered from the discard pile anyways. Back to Magical Girls Elder Things, we'll play Spreading Horror. So our opponent has to decide if they want to discard cards or not. They are going to discard 2 actions. And then Magical Girls Elder Things are going to play Shoggoth. I played him before moving Eldest Thing on purpose so that we can draw Madness cards, which we can later use to draw cards. So we'll destroy Night Stalker. Gecko Vampires were not drawing a Madness cards because they were certain that Magical Girls Elder Things were not able to score Crypt without their help. They can just move Eldest Thing over and then they are 2 power off. So they will pass turn. And we'll just play a Wolf Pact. With our action play, we'll play the Master's Teachings and place 1 counter on Monet and the other on Ancient Lord. We need to get 3 counters to play him. We can play an extra action, so we'll play Flipkick to draw 3 cards. And after that, we can score Crypt. So we'll get 2 victory points, Magical Girls Elder Things get 4. And the new base is USS Banner. We draw 2, pass turn. Okay, so we'll go ahead and play one of the menace cards we drew last turn. So we draw 2 cards. And then with our minion play, we'll play Lunar Captain. And then pass turn. Back to Vampire Geckos. With USS Banner, we can play Wolf Pact and give -1 power to Lunar Captain, who is now a 4. We can reduce that power even more by playing Dinner Date. With Dinner Date, we can place a counter on Ancient Lord as well as Monet. And then Lunar Captain becomes a power 2 minion. Which means we can now destroy her by playing Heavy Drinker with our regular minion play. I think this was the first vampire victim, right? We place 1 power counter on Ancient Lord, which means we can now play him. So we'll play him on Tokyo as well. And something I really like about the rebalanced vampires that you can play fledgling vampires after you destroy a minion. I think that symbolizes that you create more vampires. So we'll bury those. And then we can use Ancient Lord to place 1 power counter on Heavy Drinker. So yeah, I think that's it. We draw 2 cards. And then at the end of our turn, Wolf Pact goes to the top of our deck. Okay, so Magical Girls Elder Things play Byaki, place a menace card into the hand of our opponent, and then Unfathomable Goals to look at our opponent's hand. So 2 madness cards, which means we can play an extra minion. And based on the information we get from our opponent's hand, we now know that our opponents can solo score Tokyo on their next turn. So to avoid this, we play another Byaki, giving them another madness card, and then we end our turn. So Gecko Vampires will start with Uncovering Fledgling Vampire. She gets 1 counter from her ability and 1 from the ongoing from Ancient Lord. After that we'll play Breaking News, reveal the top 4. We will draw the count to return the rest. After that we get an extra action, so we'll play Lasagna Party. And we'll play June on Recording Studio. We won't use her ability. But she does get 2 power counters from Lasagna Party, as it was her second action. With our minion play, we'll play Kandinsky. He gets 1 power until the end of the turn, and because we play 2 actions, we can use its talent to move Monet over. And then we have enough power to score the base. So we'll get 5 victory points. And there's now a tie with both teams having 7 victory points. New base is Standing Stones. We draw 2 pass turn. Alright, so let's start off with playing Kiss the Sky spell to get Lunar Captain back in our hand. Magical girls are the strongest once they have multiple minions out in play, but because of the vampire destruction, we have to start with higher minions to try to protect them and then play our lower minions later. Back to vampire geckos. We'll uncover a fledgling vampire. Place the power counter on Ancient Lord. After that we play the count on Standing Stones, which means we can use its talent twice. We'll give -1 power to Lunar Captain with its ability, and then we can destroy her with Big Gulp, killing her for the second time. After that we can place a power counter from the count on Ancient Lord, and we can also bury a fledgling vampire. Also, June should get +1 power from the base. So yeah, let's just draw 2 cards. Pass turn. Magical Girl's Elder Things are going to play a Byaki. And in order to make sure that he won't get destroyed by the vampire actions, we'll play the Price of Power. To look at your opponent's hand, there are 4 madness cards, so Byaki will get 4 power counters. So hopefully he will survive. And then we draw 2. Okay, so we'll start with uncovering a fledgling vampire and place the counter on Ancient Lord, which means we can now play him. We'll play him at Standing Stones. With our first action, we'll play Gecko Blimp. Moving June, and then we get an extra action so we can play Crack of Dusk, which allows us to play Heavy Drinker from our discard pile. There's no opponent's minion we can destroy here, so let's destroy a fledgling vampire. Then he gets 2 counters from its own ability and 1 from the count. And we can also use Ancient Lord's talent for an extra counter. We can also play Buffet to draw 2 cards. And then we still have a minion play. So we'll go ahead and play Night Stalker on Standing Stones. We haven't used Standing Stones yet, so we can use Night Stalker's talent twice to draw 2 cards. And then Ancient Lord to give Night Stalker -1 power to leave less power out on Standing Stones. We discard 2. Or 3 actually. And of course we should score USS Banner first. So I think the maximum amount of power Magical Girl's Elder Things can put down on Standing Stones is 11. So with just 8 power there, we should be safe. Okay, so Power Castle comes into play. And yeah, right now the best Magical Girl's Elder Thing can do is putting 11 power on Standing Stones, which is not enough. So they will just play Power Maid on Power Castle and play Dunwich Horror on her. Then she gets 5 power from that action and also a counter from the base. The idea is to later move her with Celestial Teleport. But yeah, I think Vampire Geckos can score the base and win. We'll play Casey Smith. We get an extra action. Then we play another copy of Casey Smith, this time as an action, which gives us an extra minion play. And with that minion play, we'll play Heavy Drinker, destroying Casey Smith, which will give us a lot of power counters 2 from its own ability, 1 from the count, 1 from Ancient Lord's Ongoing, and 1 from Ancient Lord's Talent. And yeah, after that we can use Night Stalker twice again for 4 power. And also 2 cards. And that's enough to score the base. We could also bury some Fledgling Vampires, but yeah, it's not necessary. We get 4 victory points. There's nothing Magical Girls Other Things can do here. So yeah. Magical Girls Other Things have 1 Madness card. Gecko Vampires have 5. So that means they get -2 victory points. And the final score is 13 against 9. So Gecko Vampires go to round 2, and the next episode will be Grimm's Fairy Tale Slashers against Star Roamer Sinister 6. As always, thanks for watching and see you next episode. Goodbye.